Okay, so let's real quick talk about again, we're getting closer to the end of Thrones, so I feel like we're just gonna fucking be talking about Thrones, okay? And also stick around to the end of the podcast. Got a really great thing happening here in Baltimore with Thrones as well. But so let's talk about this whole Starbucks thing. Are you aware about this?
So it actually wasn't even a Starbucks cup.
I would assume,
yeah.
I would assume somebody just was like, yeah, it's a Starbucks cup.
Yeah. I mean, it's a coffee cup. Someone maybe got Starbucks colors, has the lid on it. You just give it to Starbucks. And Starbucks, brilliant because they took it and they ran with it. Like, I got to give it to them. Whoever was, whoever's on their social media team, whoever the person thought, who thought like, hey,
knows what they're doing.
Let's take this and let's run with it. Let's generate some social media buzz. Fucking brilliant. Shout out to that person. You did your job. And it's probably a person who doesn't even like a low level social media manager person who probably doesn't get as much, who doesn't get paid what they should, or you should get paid for shit like this. You should get an extra little bonus, right? Like you're the one
because you're generating some shit,
you're generating the buzz, right? And and that buzz generates revenue.
Or at least you're able to capitalize on the generation of said buzz. Like whereas somebody else might bungle it, like let me smiley face.
They could have easily fucked it up. They could have like tweeted a thumbs up, but like the black thumb, and then people were like, what?
What's happening here?
So the person who because a lot of people would have been upset. Fucking MAGA hat. What? It's MAGA country.
Black.
Yeah. This is Game of Thrones. What are you talking about? MAGA country.
Now I'm convinced that they should have done this. They should have tweeted out the black thumb.
This is the Seven Kingdoms. Don't bring that MAGA shit in here.
It was Grey Worms.
But Grey Worm stuff. Whoever tweeted that out, right? I feel like, yo, that was me. Can we talk about my bonus this year, right? Yeah. But no, it was probably just like someone who was like, yo, I'm gonna do this.
Good.
Like,
no, you know what he gets is a shout out. He or she gets a shout out during the conference call. Hey, I think we all should just recognize Betty. She fantastic job capitalizing on that Game of Thrones. On quickly to our next topic.
On quickly. It was like the hand clap from everybody like at the end of the day, like
congratulations,
so smart.
And then everybody else just leaves and you just look stint like, well, is
everyone
there a check?
Don't forget 30 minutes early tomorrow, morning meeting. You Betty, don't fucking be late. You've been late twice this week already.
You got 3 strikes.
You did the whole Game of Thrones thing, You did your job.
No, they just never mention it again.
Late.
They just never mention it again. You never hear them bringing it up again.
It doesn't come up in the review.
It never. Yeah.
No
they
pay
act like
raise.
It never happened.
But so anyway, it wasn't a Starbucks cup. Starbucks capitalized on the buzz from it. So shout out to them, like genius. They've got the dragon drink as a actual a drink up at
Starbucks
I might have
to go get that.
now.
Yeah.
It's trash. It's coconut milk and.
Never mind. You lost me. Natural laxative.
Coconut milk. Nah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this. I'll deal with this in 2 ways. One, shame on the people who, whatever the PA was, who, whoever's supposed to look at over the footage and be like, try to find any sort of mistakes. That's an easy thing to fucking weed out. Because if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't a moving shot. It was just a stagnant shot.
It was a still
shot. So you literally could have just scrubbed that out of the image. No fucking problem.
And it was right in front of Emilia Clarke.
Like it's almost impossible not to see that, right?
How did she not notice that?
She doesn't. I never blame the actors or actresses because it's like, yo, you're in your shit, right? So you're not really paying attention to like the cups. Like ideally you should be, right? Like ideally, you're queen of this. You're trying to be queen of the Seven Kingdoms. You'd think that you'd fucking notice. What's this foreign
What's
object
in your kingdom? Yeah.
But no, like
foreign intruder.
I don't blame them because that's the easy way out, right? Like that's the easy thing to say. It's just like, oh, it's right in front of her, right? But she's got a million other fucking things to pay attention to. That's not her fucking job to make sure that thing over there is not supposed to be in the scene.
Well, in that scene, all she really did was look at Jon being praised as like the king and get up and walk away.
But there's so much more that goes into it. Anyways,
if you're not the janitor, you still pick up the trash if you see it on the floor, right? She could have fucking, hey, let's get this cup out of here.
Look, I'm not even going to argue that. Okay, whether you want to say she should have been the one to see it or not, good or fine. But It's the person whoever looks over the fucking
Yeah,
footage.
it's definitely their responsibility.
Because it's your job to fucking find that little shit, right? And that's big shit. Like that's or like that's a little thing. And I honestly, in a greater scheme, and I'm sure if you look back at the previous episodes of Game of Thrones, I'm sure you're
that person and whoever did the post-production editing should have also noticed, hey, that's there. We may not be able to go back and reshoot, but let's edit it out.
I would say even after they're done editing, there's somebody whose job it is to look over the footage specifically for that, like specifically for like, hey, are there any gaps? Is there any is there a boom mic or some shit poking out of somewhere it shouldn't? Whatever the fuck it is, there's always somebody to look over that shit, and clearly they did not do that, right? Or they at least didn't do that for that one specific thing. And every now and then you're going to miss something. That was a specific thing. But okay, that's one side of it. The other side of it, everybody shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's not
I don't know why
it
was such a big deal.
It's not that big of a fucking deal. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah. I thought it was funny, and then I quickly moved on from caring about it.
Exactly. Or like, even though like I'm not going to go back to that episode, I'm like, I can't even watch the episode anymore.
Yeah.
There's a fucking Starbucks cup there. It's fucking, and like people are using this as a segue. This show has, now shit because of, what? Are you really trying to like propose there wasn't any other fucking mistakes in Game of Thrones history? But that leads me to the main thing that I want to talk about with this. This is like when somebody in school, when like you, like maybe like you make fun of somebody or something like that, and then it just catches fucking wildfire. Now everybody's fucking making fun of them. Now that person's just fucking getting shitted on from all directions, right? That's what Game of Thrones is right now, right? Because people, and notice how everybody wasn't talking shit about Game of Thrones up until the long night, right? It's because people didn't like the long night that now it's just a fucking free for all. Every fucking thing that happens on Game of Thrones, they're going to be fucking ripping apart. This show is shit. The writing is shit. Even though it's the same guys who've been fucking writing since the beginning of it, given that they've gone off the books for a majority of but they've been off the books since the end of season 5, right? Yeah. But now they're shitty writers. They don't know how to write anything.
I'm going to start having to like read through the comments a little bit more, because I honestly haven't seen as much like negativity.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean,
Twitter is it's still ablaze with how much
it's still a running conversation, but to be honest, and I don't have Twitter. I haven't seen as much like negative feedback from it, but I was surprised that it was still
or just go through any
topic
YouTube,
of conversation.
Go through any like,
and
just
people
type
are
in Game
really
of
like
Thrones,
shitting on the show.
like. Yeah, go through any YouTube, like type in the Game of Thrones season 8 or some shit like that. You'll see fucking endless videos about people. I can't believe what's going on with this show. I don't know what's happening. And it's the most preposterous thing in the world. And then on top of that, I'm like, I'm still maintaining the fucking show has not ended yet. Like, so, and here's a couple of things and we can kind of use this.
I mean, fuck those people. Like,
pretty much.
It's a cup production error. Somebody should have caught it. Still an amazing episode.
But they weren't, again, but that's exactly what I'm trying to get to, is that they weren't just shitting on that. They used that as like another fucking dagger to say that the entire episode was shitty. As soon as I finished watching this episode, I knew exactly what I would see on Twitter. I knew exactly what I would see on YouTube. It's people shitting on it. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a fucking incredible episode that had so many great moments in it, right?
Yeah.
The episode was called Last of the Starks. Fantastic episode. We'll basically do our pseudo sort of...
We'll do our recap.
Oh, shit. I got 5 on it. I've been getting strikes about that on YouTube.
You've been getting strikes
because we're using the music.
Yeah.
Well, all right. We'll sing it just now. I got 5 on it. I don't even know what he says. What does he say after that?
No idea.
It's unintelligible. You can't read it.
Did you notice I didn't sing along with you?
You did not sing along.
Closed my eyes and shrugged my shoulders.
You left me hanging.
Yes. You were on your own.
No, we can do our quick top 5 things from this past episode, and I didn't watch it again, although I meant to, but it's just been an extremely busy week. But right before we get into the top 5 things that we both like about the episode, this whole thing about because people didn't like the long night, now it's just a fucking free fall for just shitting on Game of Thrones endlessly. And I think that's incredible because you can follow a show for fucking 8 seasons and then one episode you don't like, and now the entire show never made any sense. Yeah. Nothing was ever good.
And to me, being critical of one episode you didn't like and using that as an opportunity to trash this show, I immediately just don't respect those people, right? Yeah. If that person, if we're in a group conversation, we're talking about the show and that person speaks, I'm going to cut them off.
Hey,
almost every time.
Shut up.
Yeah. You shut the fuck up. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, I just drowned out that noise. I'm not going to, there are avid fans who can look at a moment like that and say, hey, production error, did not in any way at all remotely impact the storyline, the quality of the episode, and what is to come. It had absolutely zero significance. It was a cup on a table that was left there. That's literally it. That's where it started. That's where it ends.
Yeah. Well, and I'll also say, like, okay, to their not credit, but just perhaps this is another thing that they say is, oh, like season 7 wasn't that great, you know, that they didn't really like season 7 either, because they felt like, oh, they were looking for a lot of the things that they were hoping for in season 8 they thought they would see in season 7. Whatever. I think it's when you're telling a story like this, like, I don't look at them as like, I look at them. This is why I fucking love Netflix, right? Because you could just binge watch, right? You just look at it as an entire story. And when you look at it as an entire story, it doesn't fucking matter to me that season 7 was slow or there wasn't much plot movement or whatever the fucking case is that you want to talk about. It just matters that it makes, you know, as a totality, the show was, you know, there's great writing, there's great plot points, there's great themes, yada yada.
Yeah. Did what happened in 7 follow what happened in 6?
Yeah.
Does it make sense to what's happening in 8? If that's the case, then overall, when you, like, to your point, if you look at the bigger story, then it was good. It made sense, right?
Yeah.
It may not have been as action packed as people would like. It maybe not as many characters died, or there was no like big reveal that you were hoping for, but did it make sense? And yes, it did.
Yeah. All right. Let's drop this. I got 5 on it segment. Let's talk about our analysis of this past episode, the last of the fucking Starks. You know, I've been waiting for this reunion of the Stark family because we haven't really seen them all just in one place by themselves. You know, we saw them in sort of the war room, talking with everybody, where Bran was just being weird Bran as usual. But we didn't get a sense of them together. And now we finally got that reunion that we were sort of looking for, albeit a little more. I just want to see them just fucking sit back, just eat some cereal. Hey, let's just talk. Let's just catch up. What the fuck have you been up to for like the last like 8 years? I haven't seen you for the last 15 fucking years. And yet, you know, I'm acting like, you know, it's no big deal. Like Arya and fucking Jon haven't seen each other since season 1. Nobody's seen each other since season 1, basically. And they're all like, "Oh, what's up? Tight. All right, let's keep it moving." Like,
I mean, there's just so much more going on than like, "Hey, do you guys want to go see a movie? You know, you guys want to go to Starbucks?"
But I would still like that, you know. I want, because I think the best reunion for me still holds true is Sansa and Jon. I think they got a moment to just chill for a second, you know. And you know, there's that great scene where, you know, Sansa is drinking the soup. She's like, knowing that the soup probably tastes like shit, she's like, "Good soup," and he's like, you know, like it's like brief, but also it's like something that's like doesn't have anything to do with like the fucking topic at hand.
It's
you know?
just like good chemistry. It feels like a normal moment.
It just feels like a normal fucking moment
among everything that's going on right now. So if you don't mind, just because it's like fresh in my mind,
go ahead.
The 5 particular moments I want to talk about.
Sure.
First moment for me is immediately after they kind of vote on exactly what the next step is going to be, where, you know, some have advised to Daenerys, like, the soldiers are hurt, we lost a lot of fighters, give them time to rest. And Jon ultimately sided with Daenerys and kind of followed her lead on the decision she made to march south to King's Landing. As everyone was, you know, departing the room and going their separate ways, and Jon was about to leave, Arya stepped right in front of him, like, "Hey, we need to talk," right? I love that moment because that's something you would expect from Arya. She's not going to shy away from, you know, "Come with us. We need to have a conversation." I thought that was very much brother and sister like.
Yeah.
But very much Arya still. And then the conversation they went on to have about whether or not they trust Daenerys. We know Sansa doesn't. I didn't expect Arya to say that she respects Jon's decision to bend the knee, right? I didn't expect that moment. But her reasoning for respecting Jon's decision was accurate. They needed Daenerys' army. They needed her dragons. If it wasn't for all of those things in motion at the same time, they likely wouldn't have won the war against the White Walkers, right? So I thought that was a particularly important scene, right? It may not have made a big impact in like the storyline, but that moment was significant.
Sure.
The next moment for me was where we saw Daenerys be somewhat of a strategist, right? Stopping Gendry and, basically like naming him, I forget what.
Lord of Star, is it Starborn or I forget what House Baratheon is, Stormbrook or something. I don't know.
Let's call it Stormbrook. So to all of the Game of Thrones fans who are listening right now, watching, I'm gonna get this wrong. I know it's not Stormbrook, but I'm gonna call it that. Please forgive me.
Or Storm's End or something
Storm's
like that.
End. Let's go with Storm's End. Sounds even better. So naming him Lord of Storm's End, Gendry Baratheon, giving him that title Baratheon that he hasn't been able to publicly claim, or has at least been afraid to claim that last name, given all the things that have happened.
I was right. It was Storm's End.
It was Storm's End.
Yeah.
So fucking
God
smart.
damn, I'm good.
Yeah. So, but again, to her, that was a strategic move. Why? Because he is a Baratheon, so he has somewhat of a claim to the throne.
Yeah.
By naming him Lord.
Yeah. You basically assert your dominance over him. Like I named you.
And he wasn't competing for the throne, but she eliminated
that possibility.
Any possibility,
and he's always going to be loyal to him. Yeah,
and
to her.
You garner loyalty. You also win over the respect of all the people in the room at that time, because you've done something outwardly noble, right? Naming him Lord Gendry Baratheon of Storm's End, right? Like you garner a little bit of respect. You're going to be liked, especially following the events that just took place where so many people were lost, right?
Sure.
So, and she even says to Tyrion, like, you're not the only one who, what did she say? Like, you're not the only smart one, or you're not the only one with a plan, or something like that. Or who pays
attention, or I don't know, something. Yeah.
She says something to Tyrion, and again, I thought that was a significant moment.
Yeah.
The conversation between Jaime and Brienne.
Yeah, that was a fucking heartbreak. I didn't, because I have not cared about their relationship pretty much since the beginning of their relationship.
That boy is savage.
Yeah,
he clapped them cheeks up. She fell in love with the kid. He was like, "Hey, baby, my Uber is pulling up. It's 5 minutes away. The driver says I got to come out now. I'm going back to King's Landing." Right?
No. I think it's that whole conversation. I think is highly misunderstood. I think people thought it as, oh, he's basically ditching Brienne for Cersei, but I think it's the complete opposite.
Way. So what he says to Brienne is he basically tells her all the wrong and just evil things that he's done, right? Pushing a boy out the window, killing the Mad King,
choking his
cousin or nephew to death, right? He's spelling out all the evil he's done, and I don't think he's done that with anyone else, just because him and Brienne have a different type of relationship.
She's the only person that he's admitted the truth to.
Exactly.
Almost ever on the show.
Not even that much. Well, I think Cersei knows all of his truths and lies.
She doesn't.
But
that's it. He's
never been this open with any character throughout the show, right?
Yeah.
So for him to leave her, I know that was a struggle for him as well. But he knows that there is far more important business to be taken care of in King's Landing. And when he says to her, Cersei is hateful, and so am I. That to me tells me that he might be the one to ultimately kill Cersei, because just as she is hateful, he is hateful. And the person he's come to hate most in all of this is Cersei. So he's going to King's Landing.
I actually don't think that's true. I don't think he hates her. I don't think he hates her. I think what he's saying is that their fates are intertwined. Like that her fate is his, right? Like that he's done so much dirt that like it's just like whatever she's gonna get, he's gonna get
whatever consequences
because and I think they're twins, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yeah. And like so he's felt this kinship with her this entire time, and he's while we say Cersei's like the monster, he's kind of just as big of a monster as she is. It's just that he's done more quote unquote heroic things, so we give him a discount, right? But he fucking pushed Bran the fuck out of that window. That was the first episode.
And what do they say though? There's a thin line between love and hate. Great movie, starring Martin Lawrence and not Vivica A. Fox, not Pam Grier. Who was the?
I don't know what her name.
Angela Bassett was.
It was Bassett? No. It was one of the ones from the '90s. She was she was popular in the '90s, but I don't think.
Anyway,
really
great movie.
Yeah.
Thin line between love and hate.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, check it out. That should be on Netflix. I hope so.
Probably not.
Yeah. Great movie. It's on VHS. So, okay. And again, the reason why I think that he has come to hate her is because I think that statement is true. There's a thin line between it, right? You can go from loving someone so much, and maybe that love has blinded you, to showing you who they truly are, and he sees that Cersei is an evil, hateful person, and I am that way too, and I used to love this person that blinded me from seeing that. Now I see it, and I have to go deal with that, even if that seals my fate as well. So I think he's going to King's Landing knowing that he may never return.
I think he definitely knows he's not coming back from King's Landing, because all hell is about to break loose in King's Landing right now.
But he knows that, hey, I've done so much wrong. I've done so many evil things. I've done so many hateful things that I need to go face that.
Yeah,
I may not return, and that might mean I have to be the one to kill Cersei. And I think he knows that.
Yeah, again, I just think that he thinks that their fate is intertwined, and that he's done so much dirt that it's like for him to just be in Winterfell, just chilling, by the fire and shit.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
with the chinchilla clapping cakes.
Hey, that dude hit her with the. It's kind of hot in here, isn't it? Yeah. It's not even a slick move. That's just like
he put her to sleep. Hey, shout out to Jamie with one hand too. Shout out.
I would drop a bomb. It seems like it would be mad like sexist or some shit.
So my next thing is going to jump ahead of one thing, and then I'm going to go back to that is Missandei.
Yeah.
When the ships sank, and you saw all of the the unsullied and whatever warriors were left after the long night, I thought they had washed up on the shores of King's Landing, and I thought they were all going to be captured. Missandei, Tyrion, Grey Worm, but obviously those characters made it back, except for Missandei, who was captured by Cersei.
Sure.
In that moment, I knew she was not going to survive. I knew she was going to die. I wasn't sure if it was going to be that episode, but I knew she was going to die. Mm-hmm. I didn't think she would die in the fashion that she did.
Sure.
And I was naive for thinking that.
But hold on. Yeah, what do we got to do?
Don't give me that fart noise.
No, not at all.
You gonna drop a bomb on me?
Drop a fucking bomb. Yo, Dracarys.
Yo.
She went out hard.
Yo,
she went into it soft. She's like, we all thought Missandei was soft. And then she's like, you got any last word? Fire, bitch. That's
why. I didn't expect her to cry. I didn't expect her to beg.
Like a soldier. She was like.
And you knew she was going to say some type of message, right? She was going to say something bold at the end, but I wasn't sure whether it'd be like a statement, a sentence, a speech.
Yo, she goes hard for Dany. Yeah. She goes hard for Dany.
Yeah. So I love that, but
that really has been her day one though. Dany's day one.
Absolutely.
Has been Missandei. That's her ride or die. Yeah,
but I felt for Grey Worm in that moment.
Oh, no. The Grey Worm is his body count is about to be, he's about to kill everybody.
We already know that Grey Worm is.
He gets work done.
We already know he's a hitter, right? Yeah. He's the shooter you want next to you, right? He is the shooter.
Yeah.
He's about to go off.
Yeah.
The storyline has been tracking that there would be, it would be Clegane versus Clegane, right? It would be the Hound versus the Mountain.
They're calling it the Clegane Bowl.
Clegane Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So that's been the story that's been tracking so far. Now, for me, one of the more compelling stories would be Grey Worm versus the Mountain, which would be reminiscent to the earlier battle in Game of Thrones. And I think you were the one who alluded to this, or maybe it was Fabe.
Is Oberyn versus
versus
Mountain?
the Mountain in the beginning, and Oberyn and Grey Worm have a very similar style where they use the javelin or the spear or whatever. They have a very fighting style, and he should have beat the Mountain, but he got a little bit too cocky and arrogant. I don't think Grey Worm is here to play any of those games.
No, he's gonna
be about pure business. That's it. So I think that might be the story.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm still not checking for anything Grey Worm related. I still maintain that
he's one of my favorite characters.
He should have died in the Long Night. Because that just didn't make any sense. He was out there on the front lines.
Brienne should have. Jaime should have. The Hound.
No, but he was on the front lines.
Yeah,
like he was literally the longest on the front lines.
Very true. I mean, the Unsullied, they were out there the longest.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
I like where it's going.
Yeah.
The last thing for me is we're starting to see Daenerys unravel more.
Oh,
than
her
she has
face during that scene when Missandei was up there.
Yeah,
that
scowl.
Like for all the people saying that Game of Thrones is trash now, yada yada. Yo, you guys are just, I don't know what the fuck you guys are looking at. Yo, that whole scene, I was like,
tension was in the entire room,
dude. I was like, yo, what the fuck's going? Is Tyrion gonna die?
In that scene, if you were watching, you were either sitting up at a 90-degree fucking angle. You were like grabbing something.
Yo,
your arms were fucking crossed. Your jaws were clenched.
I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen, dude.
You were showing some sign of tension.
Yeah.
One way or another. Just because that scene was just so amazing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I might have cut you off.
No, please. Because that needed to be highlighted, right? But where I want to go with this is Daenerys is like, it's like when you're so close to your goal, right? When you can see the finish line, sometimes you lose composure. Sometimes all the discipline, all the strategy, all the practicing that you've gone through to get there goes out the window.
Yeah.
And, if you're a boxer, right, you're in the final round, sometimes you just start throwing haymakers and then you get knocked out. What Daenerys is doing right now is showing a lack of discipline. She's not taking the advice of her aides, neither Tyrion nor Varys. And this last episode was a perfect example of that. She just took her dragons. She was about to just fly to King's Landing, right? And we saw one dragon taken down by the Night King.
R.I.P. Rhaegal. Fuck.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw, I'm not gonna lie to you. Right before he got shot, I was like, "This dude's about to get shot." I don't know what tipped me off, but something about how they framed it or something. I was just like, this is coming through too clean right now. Everything looks real heroic.
We should have saw something coming in this particular.
Of course, yeah.
But
bodies are going to start to drop.
I saw footage of like different like bars around the country where they were showing the Game of Thrones episodes in the bar. And
them shits look live.
And live as fuck.
Yeah.
And when they showed the scene of like the dragon being hit with the first fucking spear, and people were just like, holy shit, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the reaction I had. And again, Daenerys just took her dragons. She just went to fly to King's Landing as if nothing could happen to her
I think they were
dragons.
flying to Dragonstone, if I'm remembering correctly.
Dragonstone.
Yeah, but they're with the thought of obviously
they're going to DC. Who knows, right? But again, she was just flying carelessly, like with no strategy, right? As if she cannot lose a dragon. We've seen her lose one before, and her carelessness is why they lost another one, right? They should always be on guard. And what was more interesting to me, what showed a lack of discipline and strategy, was after she lost her second dragon, right? After that dragon fell into the ocean, what did she do? She went and she was flying head on.
She was about to go hard.
Yeah, she was about to go hard, but in a very stupid way. She was flying head on to Euron's fleet of ships, right? Now, if you go back and watch the episode, all of those ships had harpoons mounted on the front, right? A ship
can't turn around.
13,
but you can turn around the thing though. I'm sure.
Well, you can turn around the harpoons, but you can't aim them as well. Why? Right? Why? Because the tall masts.
What she should have done is just go straight up and then come straight down.
She should have either gone straight up and come straight down, or the dragons are going to be able to turn around far faster than those ships or the harpoons, right? She should have attacked them from the rear. That would have shown at least some strategy.
Yeah.
But she just went head on. She realized that she was outmatched, and then she just flew away.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I just don't know. I don't know where her head's at, and I think
she's not. I mean, come on, like she just started writing dragons like last year. She like give her a break,
So I think either in this next episode we're gonna see more of her unraveling, or we're gonna see her aides finally just maybe most likely Tyrion step in and say, hey, you are.
Varys already tried to do it. There is no reasoning with her. She's off the deep end.
I like Varys too. Varys puts no one and nothing above the Seven Kingdoms.
No, okay. Well, okay. Let me jump into mine real quick.
You take it away.
And I'm gonna do this in a slightly reverse fashion. I'm gonna start with this Varys thing, right? Because this kind of has to do with my whole Daenerys situation. I actually think she's kind of right. And the reason why I think she's right is because she actually has listened to her advisors pretty much every step of the way, and it's led her to this position, right? It hasn't been because she hasn't listened to them. It's because she has, right? That she wanted to, as soon as she touched down on Dragonstone, she was like, yo, let's get this shit going. I got the Unsullied. I got the Dothraki. Let's get this shit popping. I got back then, 3 dragons. Let's get this shit popping immediately. She was ready to go, lock and load. We could take King's Landing today. But they, of course, was like, hey, we don't want to fucking, we don't want to burn King's Landing down to the ground, because then what the fuck are you trying to save? Like, if you're just going to fucking set the entire city on fire. But what was beautiful about this entire situation, which is why I don't understand fundamentally, like, why people are like, Game of Thrones makes no sense now, is because it fucking makes perfect sense, right? It's called Game of Thrones, right? Daenerys thinks she can go in there and just do it with muscle, right? But you can't, right? And it's perfect. Cersei is the worst fucking leader ever. She does nothing for her people, and yet she's somehow able to make them believe, hey, I'm your queen. She has the fucking people. Daenerys needs to get the people, but there's no way for Daenerys to just take the city by muscle. Because she doesn't have the fucking people. That's what you fucking need in order to play the Game of Thrones. It's a game of the mind, not just by might, right? Those who think they can only do things by might, their reigns are short. That they're fast to burn, quick to die out. So it's just this really complex thing of what is the fucking good strategy. But I would say that at this point, I don't think that there is much more politicking you can fucking do. Either you go in there and take the shit, or you just fall completely back, because even if you cut off food and do all that shit for people, Cersei is so fucking conniving and evil that she's going to spin whatever you do to her advantage, right? Of saying, damn, you know what? We can't eat. You know who's fucking, cutting you off your supply of food? This outsider,
your would-be
that's
queen
immediate. That's
something.
Exactly what she's going to say immediately after you cut all the food and shit off. So that's just not going to work at long term. All you're going to do is just make people more and more pissed off at you. Perhaps you can argue that people will get pissed off at Cersei for not being able to like break through that, but I don't think that's the better argument. But anyways, let me start from my first one. The Stark family reunion. I said it before. Definitely, I loved seeing that. It was great seeing how all of them sort of interacted. Bran just kind of fell back and was just, his usual weird ass self. Jon was his, I don't know if I should do this. I should do the right thing. I think he's fucking. I don't know what's wrong with Jon. Like, just one time in your fucking life,
make a decision.
Just lie. Just one time. Just fucking one time. This one time to save everybody's ass. Why don't you just fucking not tell the fucking truth? But I guess he wouldn't be fucking Jon
It's a
Snow
family
if he
thing, because Sansa also can't keep a fucking secret.
She's snitch of the fucking year. Snitch of the fucking year to Sansa. What the fuck? Immediate
5 minutes.
I saw the most hilarious meme. It's a picture of Sansa saying Tyrion. I just found out that Jon is a Targaryen, and it's the next picture is of Jon like, Sansa, you're still talking to me.
Like, she was already ready to tell somebody.
She was immediately
before
ready
their
to
conversation
snitch.
even ended.
As soon as he fucking left their presence, she was like, "Yo, guess what I just found out? Yo, what the fuck? Yo,"
Shut the fuck up a little bit.
And she just swore too. Like, I don't trust her, yo.
Nah,
I don't trust Sansa. I can't trust you after that.
I can't trust. I mean, and is she rightful to not fully trust Daenerys? Sure.
No, I think her apprehension about Daenerys is completely unfounded, especially from her point of view. It's different when she like, okay, so first of all,
well, I think she is mistrusting because she know Jon is like overly trusting, right?
no, but after everything you just fucking saw, she just saved your ass. She was out there, Daenerys was out there fighting while your ass was in the fucking crypt, and you're still questioning her?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Like, at that point, I gotta say fuck you.
That's true. That's true.
You know? She was literally ready to die for your shit.
Very true.
She sacrificed.
But again, I think it's not because of all. It's because she sees Jon being led as if he's a puppy, and she's like, I don't trust the person holding the chain to my brother's collar.
Absolutely right. Like you don't want to trust the person who's sort of yanking the person's chain. That's different when you know that person's not ready to die for you, right?
But yeah,
when that person's ready to ride for you,
yeah.
What's up? Like, what's good? Like, you know, like, and tell me if that isn't somebody who's worth being a queen, somebody who's willing and who is able and willing to. And then what makes it even crazier, you knew Daenerys could have taken the Iron Throne without coming north, right? She could have went straight to Cersei and just deboed that shit, right?
Yeah.
But she didn't, right? She was like, all right, this is a worthy cause. Let me go up north and help you guys out before you fucking get slaughtered, right? And then immediately you're like, I don't trust her. Yeah. What the fuck?
But
fuck
now,
you.
as the viewers, we know that we can't fully
trust Sansa. No. I was, and I still think that she's probably the one who's going to take the Iron Throne.
It's a possibility.
I think, given that conversation that she had with the Hound, I think they're tipping it off a little bit. They're tipping it off.
I thought she was gonna let the Hound smash.
No, I mean, come on.
I mean, we saw more Tormund, right? You know, the girl came
and
dude. Said,
"Oh my god, I don't know what the fuck's happening with Tormund now. He's just gonna go back up north, and that's it for Tormund. Him and Ghost.
I think so.
The fuck."
Think so. He's gonna go back up there, clap wildling cheeks. But so anyway, so they were sitting at the table. Tormund, the girl came and said, "I'm not afraid of wildlings," and Tormund obviously went to have his celebratory sex, right?
Yeah.
And then
make it sound so formal. Celebratory sex.
And then we saw Sansa come over, and she was having the conversation with the Mountain. I got the vibe that it was, that was like a.
Yeah, and then when she touched his hand, I was like,
I literally thought they were gonna hook up, right?
Yeah.
Because the Hound was like, you used to not be able to even look at my face or something like that, right? And she was basically said like, I'm something to the fact of I'm a grown woman now, or a lot has happened.
I've been through some shit. Yeah.
I've been through some things. You're not the worst thing I've seen, right? And then she. The long stare, the reach out and touch the hand.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It doesn't look like the Hound's taken a shower in like 3 years. So
probably not. But I thought she was gonna let him dog it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Nice
okay,
nice little pun there. The Hound dog it.
That was good. Yeah, I didn't catch that one.
Yeah, I know you didn't.
All right, let me talk about who possibly the dumbest person in Game of Thrones.
Can I guess? Can I take a wild guess? The dumbest Sam.
Sam's like the smartest person in Game of Thrones. What do you mean? Gilly. Or not smartest, but just most studious. Gilly. That's fucked up. No, not Gilly. It's simple. It's a lot more obvious. Yeah, Euron. Euron is clearly the dumbest person in Game of Thrones. Let me explain why. He's like, hey, seriously, I want to put a baby in that belly.
Yeah.
I want to put a baby. And then she immediately tells him, hey, I'm pregnant. Hey, I just found out. I'm pregnant. Yeah. Amazing. You just smashed last week, and now I'm pregnant. I found out.
3 months.
Here comes Tyrion. Here comes Tyrion. Like, hey, that baby you have in your belly, which I could have only found out about if it was extremely before now, because I haven't fucking seen you in months, right? And I know about that baby. Euron's still sitting there smiling, like,
yeah.
How does he know about my baby?
Did they show Euron's? Because I feel like
they showed
on Cersei.
they showed Euron behind Cersei, like they showed him and like beyond when Tyrion
but not
said that.
Clear enough to like see his like.
No, clear enough.
He
still had that stupid smirk on his face.
Yeah,
clear enough to see that.
He hasn't put 2 and 2 together yet.
He probably hasn't because he's an idiot. Yeah, Euron's the dummy of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
he's gonna die horribly.
He's being played.
Of course he is. But here's the thing. I don't know to what end though. I don't know what game Cersei's playing because I don't believe Cersei's pregnant at all. I don't think she's pregnant at all. But
I'm on that side. I don't believe she's. I think she's playing Jaime. I think she's playing Tyrion.
Yeah, she's playing everybody.
Euron.
But it's interesting that she hasn't killed Tyrion yet.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I don't know.
She's had several opportunities.
She has several opportunities to kill Tyrion. She's had an opportunity to kill Jaime. She's never taken the opportunity. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah. You know what? But I feel like Euron may not be as dumb as we think he is.
He's an idiot.
At the end of the day,
I guarantee
he can
you.
always take his ships and sail the sea.
You know why I know that he's
gone.
You know why I know he's one of the dumbest, or he's going to be set up to be one of the dumbest characters. For one, they're playing him with this whole Cersei thing, but also he has an unusually high level of like anything he does, he's successful in. Anybody, be careful of that character. Of when they're always successful,
when they always hit, because when they miss, it's a big miss.
They're lining them up for a big.
There's a theory
L.
that he has an egg, right, and that egg might be a kraken.
A kraken?
He
doesn't fucking have a kraken.
There's
Get
a
the
theory.
fuck out of here. No,
I didn't make
based
the
off
theory.
of what? Based off of what?
I didn't make the theory.
Where have we
It's
ever
a theory.
seen theory?
Well, so I think in the early seasons, he had either he had mentioned or there was like a story of him having an egg as well. Like
you mean in the books?
In the show.
No, not in the show.
I'll have to send you the link.
Yeah.
I got you.
I've just watched the show like 3 times in a row. I don't remember hearing that at all. Okay.
I got you. No problem. No problem.
Skip.
No problem.
Hey, Skip. All right, Miss Sunday. Yo, she fucking goes hard.
She'll be sorely missed.
But I'm not gonna lie, that was shocking. Seeing her beheaded and then her head falling down and just seeing it in the background. It was just like, what the fuck?
So realistic, like the fall,
Holy
the head
shit.
roll, the drop. It was very much Game of Thrones fashion.
Fucking yikes. But then we see the reactions to that, and that whole scene was so fucking intense. It was, you have Tyrion who, and I like how Tyrion just like fucking, you know how you just get somebody like, you remember when Jay-Z was performing, you might not remember this, but when Jay-Z was performing New York State of Mind or
when
Empire.
Little Mama ran
and
up
Little
on
Mama,
stage.
and he didn't even give her like, I'm going to acknowledge you. He gave her the brush. Like he just, like, come on, man, get out of here.
He did his best not to acknowledge her presence on stage.
But he did like man, get out of here. That's exactly what Tyrion did to who's the hand of Cersei.
I forget his name, but yeah, he was
like Clygon.
Something like that.
Something like that. I don't know.
He was like, yo, I don't even know why I'm having this conversation with you,
like, get out of here.
young ass boy.
The dude is still talking. He just sidestepped him like, shut up, man.
Fuck out of here.
I thought, oh shit, is this where Tyrion dies? Because I was like, yo, dudes with these arrows.
Cersei's never had a better opportunity, right?
Yo, she and like, what better time than that to show you're not fucking around? I thought that's what they were about to do.
In that moment, she could have took Missandei and Tyrion.
Yeah, she could have took their whole squad out. All they had were like 4 Unsullied with them, and that was pretty much it. Like she could have taken every. I don't know
4.
why. There was like 4 of them over there. Like they weren't going to do anything. Like, and they didn't have the. I mean, I guess you had.
All they really
Drogon.
had was arrows. You could get
well,
the shield
you had Drogon in the
arrows.
back, but they had the big fucking whatever
The harpoons
and
and
shit,
shit. Yeah,
for him. But yeah, I'll use that to transition into Daenerys' face during that whole scene was just that was the culmination of 8 seasons of I want the fucking Iron Throne, and she's done everything basically right to get to the Iron Throne, and just seeing like, oh, the stakes are this high. Yeah. Like, yo, I'm about to lose everybody. Yo, they're talking about her being the Mad Queen. I don't even think she makes it to being queen, but I think she fucking goes mad. I think she's about to wreak havoc in this next episode. She's about to go double hard. There's not going to be a strategy. There's not going to be any fucking, let me listen to Tyrion. Let me listen to Varys. And you know what? At this point, I think Varys is incorrect. Like, I guess you can, they're making the argument that perhaps Jon is going to be the better king. But in truth, I don't think so. Because I don't think Jon is good at like making decisions. Like, he's not like, he was good at like, bringing everybody together in terms of, for that threat.
But if it comes time to make a definitive
where there's no
decision,
good option,
yeah,
I don't see Jon really making
will he make it
clutch.
in time?
Yeah, he's going to be like, he's going to be wishy-washy about it. He's going to be, he's going to do the thing that's going to make him look like he. You know what Jon Snow is? Jon is the guy who never wants to be the bad guy. He's the guy who will do anything not to be the bad guy.
And that person is often manipulated by,
you're
like,
played
hand,
10 ways from fucking Sunday. You'll always be taken advantage of by people who are just like, all right, dummy, I'll do this while you have your morals and you have your righteous indignation.
Which is why the arrow's pointing to Sansa's.
She's cunning, man. She learned from the best.
And if the theory of Tyrion being truly a Targaryen,
I don't know if that's true anymore. I've kind of jumped that ship. I think that's too much to pack into 2 episodes.
I don't know. There's time.
That's a lot of fucking revealing.
2 80-minute episodes. There's time.
Now you got to show me their family tree again. I got to figure out what does that mean. Like,
the only thing we know about Tyrion definitively is that Joanna Lannister is his mother.
We don't really know. You know what I was thinking the other day? I was like,
we still don't know what the conversation between Tyrion and Bran was.
We still don't know what the conversation between him and
knows
Cersei was.
all of human history, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Bran could still reveal that who your real father.
Yeah, apparently Bran doesn't really want anymore, so I don't think he really gives a shit. He's just like whatever.
Yeah.
But I think my theory.
I thought
Bran,
that was weird too.
My theory about Bran.
I don't want.
Yeah.
You don't want nothing.
Well, no, clearly he wants something because he's there, like helping them. Like he didn't want anything. He just shut the fuck up and just.
You don't want nothing to eat. You don't want nothing to drink.
Yeah, you can't trust that dude. Whoever says they don't want anything, you're like,
get out.
Yeah, got it. What was I just about to say? Yeah. So I think my theory with Bran still holds true that he's going to end up being sort of the big bad of Game of Thrones. But last episode, I don't know, it threw me off course because I wasn't expecting that. Like I was expecting a little more sort of politicking than clearly we got in the long night. But I don't know that because now it just sets it up where, but it sets it up as like a normal like, oh, Cersei is like the big bad, but that seems too plain, you know. So I have to believe that they have something else coming behind that as like the big, reveal for who the real sort of villain on Game of Thrones is. But either way, I thought it was an excellent episode. I thought they handled the internet dynamics of all those relationships.
Yeah,
and what came.
It was a great follow up to episode 3,
the
right?
Long Night, yeah.
It did not disappoint. Clearly, we weren't going to get the action and the intensity we got in the Long Night.
Yeah.
But this episode is going to bring you into 5 and 6. It was a great bridge. It wasn't boring. It didn't let you down by any means. It filled in space and time realistically to like the next battle, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't just going to be the next, episode 4 was the next battle. There has to be time, and that time has to be filled with good dialogue, good storyline.
I mean, if that would have happened in 4, they'd have been like, yo, do we even get a water break? Like, what the fuck? Like
does the Union know about this? We just fought one battle. We have to fight another battle.
Yeah, where's our Union rep at? I want to know why I'm paying all these Union fees. Okay, we say all that to say, this episode was dope. We can't wait until this next episode, but we got a little something special planned. Look, as you guys know, we do different events. Maybe you don't know. We do different events in the city. We try to, do some trivia, yada yada. Next Tuesday, very special event happening. We have got Game of Thrones trivia night going down at Sandlot. If you're in the fucking city,
give us the time.
If you're in the city, 7 p.m., come through the spot. I don't think you fucking heard me. Right before the series finale of Game of Thrones, and I know I just spit on the mic a little bit, but it's okay. We have fucking trivia for fucking Game of Thrones. We need some fucking air horns on that
Sandlot,
shit.
Baltimore.
Holy shit.
Is that
It's
Harbor
gonna be
East?
crazy. Harbor East area.
Yeah. Harbor View? Harbor East?
I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Too many
completely
harbors.
lost. Yeah.
Harbor East, Baltimore, downtown. This coming Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. After this, what do they call this episode? The penultimate episode. Like it's usually like the episode before the season finale or before the series finale. So after that episode, the week before the series finale of Game of Thrones, come through, show your fucking Game of Thrones expertise, see how well studied you are on all things Thrones, and we'll have a fucking blast, man. It's gonna be
I'm
dope.
definitely gonna be there. I can't wait for it.
It's gonna be some dope
Weather's
shit.
gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, as they say, we do it for the throne, man.
Do it for the throne.
For the throne. Okay, ladies.